extremely difficult to say this is how a legislature has fared. First,
it shouldn't be for you. I mean,
hang on a minute. What are the parameters we even use? Did we start with a legislative agenda in the year?
Who is supposed to start with it? Are they not supposed to be the ones to give their own agenda and follow suit?
With all respect, I said, did we?
Who are the we in this case?
Nigerians. They represent us. Did we task them? Did they have an agenda? Did they come up with a work plan? Did they give us a plan of action for the year? Because you must first have the questions before you can have the answers. So if a man did not come to say, oh, this is what and what and what I will do, or these are, we do not have expectations of him, how do we even measure his performance?
Well, there are two general expectations this year at least, so that we can streamline.
But however, I'm coming there.
Yeah.
I just use that so we know where we're even coming from. But however, let us just choose a broad template of what, looking at what, I'll take it from what their duties ought to be. What are they expected to do? Have they done it well? And in so doing, I will take the National Assembly and even separate the two chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Power of the purse. How well have they managed that? After approving or passing the budget, thereafter, what next? After the medium-term expenditure framework, how much monitoring have they done?
That's the oversighting.
The oversight functions. How much of their resolutions have they made enforceable? For the Senate, I think the Senate has been extremely conservative, so to say, and not responsive.
Wait, when you say there are resolutions to be made enforceable, are they the ones to make their resolutions enforceable? Is their resolutions enforceable?
I'll tell you for free. In the democracies that we are borrowing from, especially America, that operates this presidential system, when the legislature makes a resolution, no president would dare. It's as good as law. But here, Amodka scandal is there. The House of Reps has come up with an investigative committee. They've investigated. They've passed a resolution. The Senate, unfortunately, shied away from it. Part of a cover-up. If the House of Reps makes a resolution and the presidency does not respect that resolution, it does so at his own peril in an ideal situation.
Okay.
But what we have here, the presidency will tell you it's advisory, even when it is advisory.
How can they make their resolutions enforceable?
They have several powers of the purse, powers of confirmation. It's about house trading.
Okay,
the governments are shut down. Governments are shut down in America. When they come up with positions and the president says, okay, run the government. I'm not saying it should be responsibly used.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be.
Let me just give you an example.
Yes.
So go ahead. Remember the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Yes.
Had the spot
and they refused to...
They used their power of the purse.
Yes.
But the exchange did not shut down.
Yes.
They still went ahead to function.
Yes.
Now, how would that play out?
Look, with the exchange itself was creative and moved on. But if it was, for me, using the powers of the National Assembly on not appropriating to SEC because of some ego tripping, I'll call it, I personally do not agree. Didn't they do that? But however, where they do, if you apply sanction A, it does not work, you move on to the second one. It's not like when people talk about impeachment and all of that, they say it's eating up the polity. It is a provision in the Constitution that ought to be used, albeit not irresponsibly.
Isn't that part of the reason why they may not take it seriously all the time? Because if it's ego tripping and you come up with all of those,
not exactly
you set yourself up for such.
That is where we are now talking about performance. Was irresponsibly used. The powers are there, but how do you use it? I mean, we have powers that we abuse. The police abuses powers. I could abuse mine to trample on your rights. The governors abuse, legislators abuse, judiciary abuse. It's abuse. That is not to say you don't have those powers. But when you don't misuse them, is a different cup of tea. So, but for us not to derail, I think the National Assembly, on that score, has not used its powers responsibly well.
And as relating to sector,
we were talking about the other day, we just came off from oil benchmark.
Well, we have something similar to that, as a matter of fact, about the budget presentation. Let's let you take a look at this. I'm sure you might have seen it previously, but let's refresh our memories with this and take it from there.
Okay, give us a written,
but I'm here.
Go and give us a written
Distinguished Chair, you asked, I'm the one, I can answer the questions, I have them.
Listen, you can decide what will happen only in the Ministry of Finance, and perhaps the ministers you coordinate, but not in the Committee of Finance. You will go, give us a written explanation. After 2 weeks, we will take your written explanation, study it, then we will invite you for a proper engagement. That's the role of the committee. Thank you for coming.
Honorable Distinguished, Honorable Chair.
I've ruled.
I know you ruled, but...
Please, honorable members, you can wait behind for an executive session.
Excuse me, sorry, Honorable Chair, may I say something? This is a free country.
Yes, but I've made my ruling, but you are free to say whatever you want to say. You came here, you talked about you are sick, and we thought we should sympathize with you
hardly let
as
me
a mother, as a very busy person, and we've given you a safe option. And yet again, you've come back, again you are saying you are fine, you want to go ahead. We've taken a decision, please.
No, excuse me, Honorable Chair, I am not fine.
Yeah, we agree.
Excuse me.
So in the course of this, if you collapse, what do you want to...
Sorry, can I get a word? I have the utmost respect for the committee, and I expect respect back. As a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with 2 colleagues here, I expect that.
Well, I don't understand your definition of respect. But
I don't expect to come here to be handled in the rough manner with which you have done.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We will see you after 2 weeks.
I agree, but I will make my case in front of the Nigerian people. When ministers, you invite them, you have to treat them with respect. We have human rights. We cannot come here to this house and be abused.
Exactly. Okay, so there you have some spat between some members of the House of Representatives and the minister who is from the executive arm of government. How would you assess that you saw?
That was not too good by the chairman of the House Committee.
In what respect?
The minister, like she observed, deserves not some respect, a lot of respect. Like every Nigerian, if you invite somebody, you don't talk down on anybody. We don't listen to him. Then the man kept saying, excuse me, give her a hearing. Let her make a point. You see, these are some times where I'd say the legislature itself shoots itself in the foot, gets itself into unnecessary controversy, sits on a high horse, go on ego tripping. That is exactly what happened in that clip. But I tell you, if a legislature is well competent, if the committee chairpersons or the committee members are patient, they listen, they do their homework, and you can meet the ministers at the intellectual level, engage them. It takes nothing to study some of these things. When you don't understand, you can get consultants to interpret to you. You can be a student yourself behind the scene. By the time you are well schooled, by the time you are engaging any technocrat, I'm sure only a dull person, even if I write a legal brief as a lawyer, that I'm going to present in the Supreme Court and I give to any of you here to read for 3 days, except you have a totally blockhead, you will deliver it as good as a lawyer, if not better. So if the legislature itself does not put itself in the position of respect, it will be disrespected. And that is what we've seen here.
It's also, it would seem that it's also what we've seen is a reflection of what we're saying constantly, because this, some people would say, is based on perceptions. This is a manifestation of something that seemed to have been going back and forth between the executive and the legislature.
Yeah.
how do you think that we can work on this relationship?
Well,
do we have an input in it?
Well, you see, I think it's still a learning